In this video, I'm going to show you how we can configure shared services in Cisco DNA Center for Cisco SD Access. Actually, I'm going to talk about network setting. You know that after creating the network hierarchy in the design tool, the network operator can move to next menu, design, and then network setting to define a standard configuration setting for the network, like authentication, authorization, and accounting, or AAA servers for both network device and clients, like DHCP or dynamic host configuration protocol servers, and domain name system or DNS server, and maybe network time protocol or NTP servers, CSLOC servers. Maybe you want to configure banner or message of the day, MOTD, and also command line interface or CLI credential, and also simple network management protocol SNMP credential. I will show you. All right, first we need to log into Cisco DNA Center. Also, let me to inform you that I didn't actually join or attach the Cisco DNA Center to the ISE or Identity Service Engine. I will show you how we can configure ISE for the Cisco DNA Center and how we can define the ISE for Cisco DNA Center. Okay, this is the dashboard of Cisco DNA Center, and I'm going to show you how we can configure common network setting. It is very easy. Look at here. We need to go again to the design menu. Inside the design menu, we worked with the network hierarchy in the previous video. Now we are talking about the network setting. Let me to click on it. And this is the actually network setting page of the Cisco DNA Center. Here we have some options that we can configure them. For example, DHCP server, DNS server, time zone, other features, and also other servers. As you can see here, we can add other servers like AAA server or NTP or SFTP, some other things. Okay, let me to start the configuration. Only first, I'm going to inform you that the addresses of the Cisco ISE in our lab is this address, and our network services include DNS, DHCP, FTP, and also web is the 10.10.50.25, and this is our DNS domain name, micronixlab.com. Okay, and also we need to configure AAA server because this is a pure actually or raw scenario. Here we don't have the attachment of this DNA center to the Cisco ISE. I will show you first about the IP address of the DHCP server. You can define one or more than 1, 2, 3 or more DHCP server for this actually Cisco DNA Center or for our SDA fabric. Okay, but I'm going to configure only one, 10.10.50.25. Okay, this is the actually DHCP address of DHCP server in our network, and here we can use it. That's it. It supports both IPv4 and also IPv6 address. If you want to add more than this DHCP server, you can click on this plus, and then we have additional DHCP IP addressing configuration, but I'm not going to configure it now. DHCP has this address. About the DNS server, okay, in DNS server, we have multiple options. Domain name. What is our domain name? Here you can see this is our domain name, micronixlab.com. Okay, copy it and paste it here. After that, we can configure primary DNS server and also secondary DNS server. But for now, let me to configure only primary DNS server 10.10.50.25. If you want, you can add more than F1 means primary and secondary DNS server here. Also, about the time zone, you can configure the time zone here. Here, as you can see, we have multiple time zones and we can choose one of them. This is the time zone. If you want, you can configure message of the day or MOTD. And also here we have one option, do not override the existing MOTD banner on the device. Yes, it's okay for us for now, and we can save it. Until now, look at here, I'm going to click on it, save. And after that, you know that this is successfully saved, as you can see, but we need to define AAA server for both endpoints and also users. You know that we need to authenticate, authorize, and account our end users and also the end devices. Because of that, let me to add the AAA server. We will receive error message. Add servers. Okay, you can click here, add servers, and which type of server you want to add. I want to add AAA server, okay, or maybe image distribution, or maybe NTP. Let me to add now the AAA server, and okay. And as you can see, now we have the option of AAA server. You can enable AAA server for both network and client or one of them. Yes, we need both of them because we want to authenticate, authorize, and account both client or endpoints and also network devices. And let me to click on one of them. For example, client endpoint first. Okay, everything seems okay, but you will see that we will receive error message. You want to authenticate the client or endpoint with which protocol? AAA, okay, protocols include radius, or remote access dialing user services, or TACX or TACX Plus. Yes, let me to click on radius. And also, you know that we have two types of servers. ISE, you can use ISE or Identity Service Engine. In most cases, we use it, or any other type of AAA servers. Yes, in most cases, we use ISE. Let me to click on ISE. As you can see, no ISE server configured. Please configure them first under system setting. Actually, under system setting, we need to define AAA server for this Cisco DNA center. Okay, how? You can click here on system setting, or you can go to the the system. Look at your system and click on system and then setting. Both of them will actually link to one page, system setting, or you can click here, system setting. And after that, in this page, we need to define our ISE or Identity Service Engine to our Cisco DNA Center. Look at here. Here we have many options. Don't worry about them. Only you need to think to the function that you work on them now. Okay? Because of that, only we need to find here the place that we can define the AAA server, or actually our ISE, for our Cisco DNA Center. As you can see here, we have many options. In the external services section, you can see that we have authentication and policy servers. Specify the servers that authenticate Cisco DNA Center users. Cisco Identity Service Engine or ISE servers can also supply policy and user information. Yes, I want it. Click on authentication and policy servers. As you can see here, we don't have any authentication and policy servers. We can use this form to specify the servers that authenticate Cisco DNA Center users, and Cisco Identity Service Engine or ISE servers can also supply policy and user information. Okay, I want to add the first server. You want to add which type of server? AAA or ISE? I want to add ISE. That's it. Okay, and after that, you need to enter the parameter that are requirement for adding ISE server. First, the server IP address. Here, as you can see, the server IP address is 10.10.10.60. Okay, copy it and paste it here. This is the first parameter that we need. After that, what is the shared secret that you configured in the ISE server? In ISE server, we have a shared secret. Actually, you know that in this course, I don't want to talk about the detail of ISE itself. Actually, we expect to have ISE, or we expect that our students have the knowledge of the ISE, or if they don't have, it is not important, they can ask from a, for example, instructor or from any expert about the ISE, okay, and they can help you. Actually, we are talking about the Cisco DNA Center and how we can work it. About the details of ISE, we can learn in other courses. Because of that, the shared secret of the ISE should be entered here. What is this shared secret? Let me to enter it. Okay. And after that, the username. The username is admin. And again, the password can be, for example, let me to enter the password. Okay. And after that, the FQDN. What is the FQDN of our ISE? The fully qualified domain name of our ISE is ise.sd.geeks.local. That's it. And here I don't need to enable virtual IP address, and I don't need to configure advanced setting. Look at here. If you want, you can configure advanced setting. For example, if you want to enable some features connect to PeakScript, you can enable it here from here, and also some other options. For example, I want to enable TACACS. Yes, let me to click on it because we need it. The radius or remote access dialing user services, or maybe remote authentication dialing user services is enabled before, but TACACS is disabled. Because of that, let me to enable it. This is the TACACS Plus protocol, and other default values are okay. Let me to add it. And then we need to wait. As you can see, now we experience ISE server integration. But we received error message or maybe notification. Let me to read it. Look at here. This is the first time Cisco DNA Center has seen this certificate from Cisco ISE, and it is not yet trusted. Do you want to accept this certificate and establish trust? Yes, I accept this certificate. Let me to click on accept. Okay, the first problem was solved. And after that, as you can see, initiating connection is okay now, connecting to Cisco ISE and validating credential. The next section, the next step is establishing trust. Reading, validating, and storing trust certificate, it's okay. And discovering nodes, discovering Cisco ISE primary and secondary admin nodes and PeakScript node are okay. And after that, as you can see here, now we have the next error message, connection to PeakScript. PeakScript not enabled on Cisco ISE. If you wish to integrate without PeakScript, use advanced setting to disable PeakScript. We need PeakScript. Okay, for other functions that you will see them in Cisco DNA Center, for example, for group-based policies and other features, we need PeakScript. Because of that, let me to enable first PeakScript on the ISE server, and after that we can continue adding ISE to our Cisco DNA Center. It is very easy. Okay, let me to go to our ISE or Identity Service Engine. This is our ISE or Identity Service Engine. First, we need to log in to it. Okay, and after that, how we can enable PeakScript. Here actually I'm going to show you how we can configure it and also some other functions. Don't worry about the detail of ISE. Here we don't learn about the ISE itself. We use it. This is our Cisco ISE dashboard. Okay, as you can see here, we have multiple options. We need to go to the administration, and in administration, under the system menu, we can go to the deployment option, administration, system, and then deployment. Click on it. Okay. And here you can see the informational message. Let me to okay it. And here we have this ISE. This is the ISE that I configured before. This is not related to the actually Cisco DNA Center. Okay. We need to enable some services for this ISE. Okay. Let me to click on ISE, and here we have multiple options. Which options we should enable first? We need to enable the SXP service, device admin service, passive identity service. I will show you. Here we have them. We can go to the end of the page. Here you can see, yes, you can scroll down, enable SXP service. Yeah, here you can click it here on the Gigabit 00 interface, and then enable device admin service, and after that enable passive identity service, and finally PeakScript. Okay, if you want, you can enable PeakScript Cloud also. That's it. You need to enable all of these services, and also maybe in future we enable and we add other services, but for now let me to save them. The first option, actually we enabled PeakScript, and now we expect that the error received in the DNA Center solve. And after that, again, let me to go to the administration, and under the system, we can go to the setting. In setting, I want to enable ERS, okay, or maybe you want to ensure ERS is enabled. Look at here. Here under the API setting, you can see that the ERS API option, and you know that Cisco ISE here. This is the ERS explanation. The Cisco ISE allows for API access to manage ISE nodes via two sets of API formats. First, ERS or external RESTful services and open API. And I want to ensure that it is enabled before. Here we have some explanations. They are not important for us now. If you want, you can go to the API service setting and ensure that the ERS is enabled. Also, we need to disable CSRF for ERS requests. Don't worry about the detail of them. They are not related to our course. That's it. Now we configured and the Cisco ISE for our Cisco DNA Center, and it is ready for us. In Cisco DNA Center, now we can go to the next step. We can try again. Okay, you know that when we try to apply or to define our ISE, we received error message. Let me to click on the retry. Look at here, PixGrid not enabled on Cisco ISE previously, not now. If you wish to integrate without PixGrid, use advanced setting, but I want to integrate with PixGrid. Let me to retry. What is happening? As you can see, again, initiating connections, it's okay. Establishing trust, it's okay. Discovering nodes, it's okay. And the last step, connecting to PixGrid. As you can see, everything seems okay. And close. And now we have active ISE. Now we can define it for our services. For example, again, we can go to the design and then network setting. In the network setting, if you want, you can define the again, the AAA server, add servers, AAA, and then OK. And for network, for both network and for client endpoint, I want to define the AAA server. For both of them, for network, I will use ISE, and for client endpoint, also I will use ISE. That's it. And about the ISE, okay, about the network, okay, you know that in most cases for network device authentication or maybe authorization, we use TACACS. And for the user or client or endpoint, we use Radius. Okay, but you can use the Radius or TACACS. Let me to define the address of them. You know that both Radius and TACACS are enabled on our AAA server. And the address of AAA server is 10.10.10.16. Okay, here we can select our server, our network, 10.10.10.60. And about the IP address, primary IP address is the same IP address. Here we have some other options. You will learn about them in future. And about the also client endpoint, let me to use the similar options. That's it. Now we define our AAA server. Let me to save it. We have AAA server that we can use it. Okay. Everything seems okay. Successfully setting saved. And also, if you want, you can define the NTP server, add server, again, NTP. Let me to add it here. For NTP, the IP address of the NTP and other services is 10.10.50.25. Let me to copy it and paste it here. That's it. And then save. You know that we defined all of these network setting global for global hierarchy. What does it mean? They can be used by all of the actually childs, Europe and also, for example, United States. We define all of them. And after that, you can define the next option, the device credential. What is a device credential? You know that we have some switches that we want to configure them. We want to reach them. Okay. And multiple options are available. You can configure the DNA Center can configure them with CLI, with SNMP, with netconf, with HTTP. Okay. Because of that, here you can define the credentials, username, password, community, some other things. And after that, the DNA center will use them. Actually, we can create credential for the protocols used to access devices. Then choose one credential from each protocol to assign to the selected site. For example, about the CLI, let me to define the first, actually CLI credential. You can add CLI credential. CLI credential include username and password and also enable password. Okay. About the name of this credential, you can give it any name. For example, let me to use this name, the switch. Okay. Switch, that's it, it's okay. And after that, about the username, this is the username of my switch. About the password, this is the username of my, actually about the username, let me to use DNAC, this is the username of my switch. About the password, this is the password, okay. And about the enable password also, let me to enter it, easy. And also, as you can see, assign credential to site global and also to other sites. Here it's okay. And then we can save it. So easy. Now we have one credential. The name of this credential is switch because I want to use it for switches. If you want, you can configure multiple credential here. For example, about the SNMP version 2, let me to close it. SNMP version 2 community read or write option. Let me to define one of them. And here I want to add the SNMP version 2C read. What does it mean? It means that if we use this credential, the community of the SNMP for read-only access can be used from here. Okay, the name of this credential can be anything. For example, RO. RO means read-only. And the community that we define should match with the community that we define in the device. Let me to write it here. Okay. And after that, that's it. Okay. And then we can save it. And also about we can define also one SNMP version 2C write. This is for read write. The name can be RW and community is this community. Okay. And that's it. Save it. Now we have this credential. If you want, you can define the credential for the SNMP version 3, HTTPS read or write. Okay. And also, you know that we can define IP address pools. For example, you define the IP address pool for global hierarchy and for each site of Europe. The Europe can reserve some part of global IP address range. Okay, it is very interesting. Let me to show you. As you can see here, we have multiple options. For example, here we can the option of configuration of IPv4 address pool or IPv6 address pool. And also, as you can see, for each of them, we have multiple options. Type, IPv4 subnet, IPv4 use, you will see them in future, and then IPv6 subnet and other features. Also, we can configure the pool for global or for Europe or for United States or for example, California or for San Francisco or maybe a building, maybe a floor. Okay. Let me to show you the configuration of IP address pool. First, this is our IP address pool information. First, I want to configure the first pool for global, site global actually. What does it mean? This is the global IP pool. We use it and we reserve some part of it for the different or the child actually sites under the global. The name of this actually pool is global IP pool. And also the type is generic, the name is global IP pool, and this is the range. Let me to show you how we can configure it. First, click on global, and after that, you can add it from here, add. We have these options, IP pool name. Let me to show you, IP pool name. The pool name is global IP pool. That's it, easy, okay? And after that, the type is generic. Here we have other types, generic or tunnel. In most cases, we use generic. Tunnel can be used for remote access, for example. Okay, generic is okay. IP address space is IPv4. And after that, about the IP subnet. This is our IP subnet, okay? And after that, let me to copy it here, 10.12.0.0. About the prefix lengths, here we have the multiple options, but as you can see, we want to use /8 or maybe /16, okay? And after that, this is the /16, 255.255, actually 255.255.0.0. That's it, okay? And then if you want, you can configure gateway IP address, DHCP server, DNS server, everything. But for this pool, as you can see, we don't have gateway or DNS because this is the global pool that we use this pool for reservation for other child sites. Okay, I will show you. That's it. Let me to save it. And now we have the first IP address pool. The name is global IP pool. The type is generic. This is the IPv4 subnet, and we didn't use until now from this pool. Okay, that's it. And the next pool is for the actually San Jose 04. You know that in San Jose we have two building, okay, and the first building SJC 04, okay, has these four actually IP address pool. You can use one IP address pool for employees, means wired employees, and wireless employees, or for guests, again wired and wireless, access points, or other parts of your company. Okay, I don't want to configure all of the sites here about the about the IP pool here. I want to show you only one site, for example SJC 04. You can configure another pools for other actually sites. Okay, let me to click on SJC 04. That's it. Okay, and after that, about this is the information or message about the inheritance of the from global IP address pool. It's okay. And then we can reserve. Okay, and you know that we want to reserve some part of global IP address pool here. And about the IP address pool name, this is our pool name. Look at here. The pool name is corporate SJC 04. Okay, we can copy it. And then we need to reserve, this is the IP address pool name, and we need to reserve from which global pool? From this global pool. We defined it, okay? 10.12.0.0/16. And here about the prefix lengths, 10.12.30.0 and /24, okay? 10, you can, the prefix length is 24, or you can click here, /24. And about the IPv4 subnet 10.12.30.0. About the gateway config, the gateway of this subnet is 10.12.31. Okay, and here 10.12.31. And finally, about the DHCP server and DNS server, you know that we defined before them. For DHCP server, you can click on 10.10.50.25, and also about the DNS server, both addresses are same. That's it, and now we can reserve it. Actually, we defined the first pool for SJC 04. About the second IP address pool for the SJC 04, the name is guest _ SJC 04. Again, copy it here and then reserve. Okay, and this is the pool name. The type is generic from the which global pool? From this global IP pool. And after that, you can use prefix lengths or number of IP address. Both of them are possible. For example, about the prefix lengths, because I want to use /24, let me to click on it. And about the subnet, what is the subnet? 10.12.40.0. Okay, and here 10.12.40.0, and then the gateway IP address is 10.12.40.1. And about the address of DHCP and also DNS, you know that we defined them before, again reserve. This is the second pool that now we have here, successfully reserved IP pool, actually successfully created. And after that, the next is for access points. Actually, one of your work is defining these pools for all of the site hierarchy, okay? And after that, reserve. And then this is the pool name. And after that, again, the type is generic, and from which global pool? From this global pool. And then prefix length is /24. Okay. And finally, the IPv4 subnet is 10.12.80.0. Let me to write here 10.12.80.0, and the gateway is, as you can see, the gateway is 10.12.80.1 again. And finally, the DHCP server and DNS server are same. They are shared services, you know. And let me to reserve it. And the last IP address pool that we need here is this IP address pool. Let me to copy the global IP pool name, 10.12.90/24, and then reserve. And here, this is the name of this pool. And after that, from which global pool? From this global pool, and the prefix length is the /24, okay, /24. And this is the IPv4 subnet 10.12.90.0. And as you know here, as you can see here, we don't have gateway address or DNS for this subnet. That's it. This is actually for internal usage. And after that, we can reserve it. Now we have these pools. Actually, we define these pools. Actually, until now, we configured the network configuration or settings, device credential, and IP address pools. Here we have some other options that you will learn about them in actually future. But for now, if you can check in global site hierarchy, okay, as you can see, we have used 1% of the all of the IP v4 for this global range. All right, as you know, here in the Cisco DNA Center menu, we have the first menu is design. Until now, we have learned about the network hierarchy configuration, the site hierarchy, and also some important parts of the network setting. Okay, in future, we will learn more than this about the other options that we have in Cisco DNA Center.